GM. GM. Trade of the day. Going to look at a couple of things. So, as you can see from the home screen of Deck Screener, the shit coining is just fully back on Solana. But overall, I still see money flowing into the Ethereum ecosystem. So, what matters for me is Unibot. That's my best bet for the performance of ETH shitcoins. So I talked about this the other day at about $80. So far, it's just performing nicely, breaking out of a multi-month accumulation range. It's up to 95, touched 100 overnight, and still looking good, still looking strong. So my Unibot altcoin trade is going well. I'm happy to stay in that, and don't see any change. Multibit, I'm a bit less bullish. I mean, it's really just consolidating. So it's not mega bearish, not mega bullish either. It's compressing with a flat top, so that's decent. Right, there's a flat high and there's rising higher lows into it. I'd expect that to break to the upside. However, when you trend down like this and then you chop sideways, it can often lead to continuation to the downside as well. So I'm still watching it very closely. The BRC20 narrative, which kind of gets led by ordinals, still strong to me. Ordinals still performing well, still holding up nicely near the highs here. Holding its daily trend, which is what really matters. Let me see, sorry, show all, there we go. Holding the daily trend, consolidating at this level. I mean, it needs to break out to the upside, sometime soon. Otherwise, it is at risk of just falling over and losing momentum totally. So I'm not mega bullish on the BRC20s right now. But until I see a little bit of weakness on Multibit, I think I'll continue to hold. So, not overly bullish, not overly bearish. Unibot's better, of course. And I've got a good exposure to the ETH ecosystem now. I'm long ETH, Unibot, Link, which is like Link sort of side tangentially related to Ethereum, and AKT. So I want to update AKT. So Akash had another good weekly close. Right, where it pushed up 2 weeks ago. Nice tight consolidation near the highs. Holding up near this $3 level. The main thing for AKT is the Bitcoin chart. AKT versus BTC, which I still think is looking really, really good. Another really strong weekly close there. After last week's weekly, which touched these highs and could have reversed, it's just holding up stronger with a nice consolidation at the highs. So even though the US dollar chart on AKT was down, the Bitcoin chart was up. That's a real show of strength because Bitcoin went down significantly last week, obviously. AKT went down less. Think about that. AKT is a hyper volatile coin. Normally, if Bitcoin goes down 10%, you'd expect something like AKT to go down 20 or 30%. But AKT actually went up relatively. Even though its dollar chart was down slightly, its Bitcoin chart was up, as this green week shows. So I still just see clear strength on AKT Bitcoin chart. When you go to the monthly, again, nothing but strength. All the way down into the lows. Monthly EMA bands red. They've now flipped green as of end of last month into this month. It's currently sitting above the highs. So as long as that continues, I expect a sustained period of outperformance for AKT versus Bitcoin. How long will that continue for? Don't know. But as long as it continues, I'm happy in my AKT position. I think it's going higher. So AKT good, Unibot good, Multibit kind of meh, a little bit. Not as happy with Multibit. Pepe, same kind of thing, but Pepe is just gonna run last. I would suspect. So you've got This support, and as long as this support keeps holding, there's not a whole lot to really write home about with Pepe. Support keeps holding on the daily, chopping around at the weekly. It's not really in a weekly trend, right? The trend bands just haven't existed long enough. They flip green briefly, they're kind of red again. It's consolidating and compressing. I don't think Pepe goes to new lows. So to me, the logical next step is for it to go up. And you can see this from all the pushes, like especially on the weekly. All the pumps have got sold into, but the wicks higher are indicating demand to push it up. The demand is on the upside. What I see with Pepe is that people they don't want to buy and hold Pepe. They keep longing it. And so every time you get any kind of move on Pepe, people just ape in with leverage, and then they get flushed out. And ape in with leverage and flushed out. And ape in, and funding spikes, open interest spikes. So those people just need to keep getting wrecked and wrecked and wrecked and wrecked. And I think eventually they'll get shaken out or capitulate through time, and then Pepe will have its run. Nothing's changed on that as of yet, really. I'm still bullish on that. And the more bearish people get on Pepe, the better it is for me. As long as it's holding its support and people get more and more bearish, that just means the trade is less crowded, people are giving up, and it's going to give room for Pepe to run eventually. If ETH goes to 3K and beyond, Pepe is going to have a good run. And when it gets that momentum, that head of steam built up, Pepe can really, as we've seen in the past, it can really run. So nothing overly concerning from that perspective for me right now. It might end up just being that Pepe isn't going to go this time. I'm still fully prepared for that and aware of that. It might just be that Pepe goes back down here, has to consolidate for many more months before having a run. That's totally possible. Would not discount that at all. But until it loses support, I wouldn't buy into that. Because if it loses that support, it's going to be several months of nothingness. But until then, Pepe is just building up momentum for me. Or not momentum, but cause and effect. It's building a cause so it can have an effect. That's it. GM, alt update. See you later on the live stream.